Welcome to a heavily anticipated next episode of Inside Campus. I'm your host, as always, Adam Bramson, joined by my co-host, Coach Dennis Bohn. It's great to have you. We're doing this virtually today. It's a little bit different, but I'm happy to see you on my screen. How's it going?
Good, Adam. Thanks for being here. And now you have a real job, so we couldn't get you in person because you're busy. So it's nice to still have you be the host, though.
Yeah, it's nice to be a functioning adult in the American workforce. So it's a good thing to be busy, but happy to still do this episode of Inside Campus and happy to be talking to you about the team. So let's start it off. I think a lot of people in the Lafayette men's soccer community are looking for an update on the stadium. It's, been a big point of conversation in the past year or so. And I think a lot of people are wondering and excited about where it's headed and where we're at.
Well, exciting update. And literally, as we are kind of recording this video, they are breaking ground on Gummeson grounds. Burger Field at Oak Stadium at Gummeson grounds is officially being constructed, demolished, I guess, first, and then reconstructed, with the anticipation of being ready for August and being ready for our fall season.
That's great. So that first game in the fall 2023 is going to be in that new stadium.
That's what I'm being told. So we are moving forward. We have signed the contracts and things are moving. We haven't officially finished the fundraising piece. So those that are watching this and want to partake, we still are in need of funding to finish and complete the project. But we are starting construction. And we will be going public with a pretty cool thing, Adam, where we're going to be having seat backs, opportunities for people to put their name or their family name on a seat back in the stadium for a donation. And we have the goal of trying to get 100 seat backs raised in the next phase of our fundraising process. So, not only can people come out and watch the matches at the new venue, but they can also kind of be part of it forever with their name, on a seat back, as well as what we're calling our supporters wall.
That's pretty great. Yeah, no, it seems like it's a great way to honor all the leopards and people that came before us and tie them to this new stadium, so that these generations are kind of all tied together. And maybe there'll be an Adam Bramson seat back. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to call Howard about that one too, maybe.
Yeah, I'll give him and Carol a call. We'll see what they can do. That's great. Well, we're all looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We really think it's not going to be the biggest stadium in the country, but we really do believe it's going to be the most unique, most soccer fan friendly, staying soccer only, staying natural grass. Actually, an irrigation system is going in as one of the first pieces of the project. And with all the different terraces and pavilions and stands and natural hill, there's going to be so many different locations that people are going to be able to watch the match from. So it really truly will be unique and special.
And to be shared between the men's and women's team as well, right?
Yep. Both teams will be playing all their matches on the field and in the stadium, and so it's going to be a lot of student athletes are going to be affected in a positive way. So it's not just going to be the fans that are going to have a better experience, but it'll also be a better experience for the student athletes.
Great. And for the fundraising section, we'll have John Sabino just add a little link on where people can click to donate here. And speaking of that, slight pivot here, but do we have an update on Andrew Hummell? I know a lot of people in the Lafayette men's soccer community have grown close to Andrew's story. A member of the Lafayette men's soccer team and family, and the whole Hummell family is, and we know that he's been going through another recent bout health-wise, and the entire family is behind him. And just would like to open the floor to speak on that as well.
Well, actually, Andrew, in a positive way, had his T-cell procedure yesterday at CHOP, Children's Hospital of Pennsylvania, down in Philly. He received his T-cells back into his system, which are going to help him fight his leukemia and his cancer. Him and his parents will be down there for about another 4 or 5 weeks as they continue to test him and see how the T-cell procedure is progressing. But he's battling it, as we would expect, to head on and keeping his spirits high. I'm really proud of the Lafayette soccer family and the fact that a few of our alums started a GoFundMe page. And as of the last time I looked, a few days ago, we were almost at $15,000 raised for the Hummell family to help them through this difficult time. And all of those dollars were raised from people connected with again, Lafayette men's soccer. So Andrew's doing well. He's battling, and his family and I can't thank the Lafayette soccer community enough.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I mean, we love a positive update. We'll definitely provide a link in this video for people to donate to Andrew's cause and Andrew's family. I think something that, to touch on just what you said, it's great that all of us have had the opportunity to be there for Andrew throughout this entire journey for him. And it's also allowed generations of Leopards to connect with each other as well. I visited Andrew in the hospital about a month and a half ago with a bunch of other alums, and we saw current players visiting at the same time, and some guys I knew, some guys I didn't. And it's great how the entire Leopard family has been able to rally around the Hummels and embrace them as one of our own.
Yeah, and he and his parents, all they ask about is, when can we get the spring schedule? When can we get the fall schedule? They're staying optimistic that Andrew's going to be strong and healthy, and is going to be back on the sidelines with us as soon as possible.
Well, you can tell them to watch this video, and they'll get all the updates on the spring schedule later on. But before we get there, that was a pretty good pivot, right?
There you go.
Before we get there, we have the class of 2023 to run down. Just looking at it, from my perspective, it's an incredibly diverse class of players from all over the world, bunch of different positions. It's a big class of guys. It's an exciting class of guys, and I'm excited to hear all about them and hear you run down them. Just from a glance, what can you say about this group of players we got coming in?
Yeah, it's a bigger class than we have the last few years, but that's because we're losing a big senior class, and a lot of that had to do with COVID. So not only did we have our traditional senior class, we had our COVID senior class. So, with that large group of players leaving, this past November, or at least from the team, we brought in a bigger recruiting class to kind of fill in to update the roster. And so we have a good amount of guys, but a diverse group, both geographically, ethnically, and also positionally. So it's guys that are covering a lot of different bases for us in a lot of different positive ways.
That's great. Well, I'm excited to hear all about them. Let's get started. Let's go one by one. Andre McIntyre off the bat.
Yep.
Tell me how excited we are about Andre.
Yeah, well, Andre, or AJ as we call him, is actually here on campus. He was a transfer, came in January from Chestnut Hill College, is originally from Jamaica, came to Philadelphia in high school, and is from Northeast Philadelphia. So we kind of started hearing about him. His talents were a little bit under the radar because he didn't really play organized club soccer here in the United States. And after having couple good years in Division II at Chestnut Hill College, their coach actually reached out to me, said he deserves to be playing Division I, and he was trying to find a good home for him. He heard about Lafayette and our program, and so we kind of, one thing led to another, and AJ came here in January and has been doing a great job in the classroom, off the field, on the field, and is just a super talented, fast attacking player that I think will bring a really exciting dynamic to our team for the next 2 years.
Love to hear that. Moving on, next we got Nikolas Hadjimitsis. It seems like there might be a concrete Cypress to Lafayette pipeline that you have constructed there. So let's hear about it and hear about all the great things he did overseas.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Marcos and Giannis had to graduate. So our Cyprus roster, our players on the roster from Cyprus had to unfortunately graduate. But Nikolas is coming in to replace those guys with that pipeline. He's a defender, though, so plays a different position than our last two Cyprus players. So he's a outside back, center back, and is a great student, wanted engineering, had many options, but chose Lafayette not only because of the team and the soccer, but because of the engineering department, and is a guy who is playing right now and has played on all of Cyprus's youth national teams. So he's playing at a really high level over in Europe. And, we believe he's going to be able to come in day one and make an impact.
Amazing. Love to hear that. Maybe one day we'll have an entire Lafayette team just be from Cyprus. We'll see.
I don't want a full team of anybody from anywhere, right? That's what makes us special. So, but adding
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
I don't want everybody from Massachusetts either, but no disrespect, Adam.
Yeah, no, neither would I. Neither would I. All right, moving on. We've got Roy Biegon, another international player, but played in Albany, New York. Another forward, outside midfielder. Seems like a goal scorer. Tell me a little bit more about Roy.
Yep, Roy is originally from Kenya. His parents are still, over there in Africa, but he came over here for prep school to Hussack, which is a private school up in the Albany, New York area, and is an attacking player, can play center forward, can play out wide. Is another player that is dynamic, brings a lot of talent and athleticism to the roster, and a guy that we do believe is going to come in and be able to produce goals and be very dangerous as one of our front players.
Nice. Love to hear that. Staying in New York, we've got Griffin Feather, right back, played for Met Oval in the MLS Next Academy League, and his grandfather also attended Lafayette. Pretty cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, so we always have those lineages of alums and their parents or grandparents, which is pretty special. But Griffin, we lost Alex Sutton, one of those Manhattan guys, and we brought a couple of Manhattan guys that grew up in New York City, and those guys have done well for us. And so Griffin grew up in the city, plays for Met Oval, flank player, outside back, outside midfielder. Got a chance to work with him in the summer, and think he brings not only the skill level, but a little bit of an edge and a toughness that you would think from a city kid to the program that I think will be very beneficial.
Great. Staying in New York, we're moving on to Johanny Moreno. Plays for Gacci and also in the MLS Next Academy League. Tell me a little bit more about Johanny.
Yeah, Johanny's parents and family is originally from El Salvador, came here to the United States, lived now in that same New York City area. He's a left-footed attacker who we've seen play on the flank and invert and kind of cut in on his left and score goals and bringing it again another attacking dynamic to the field. So we really believe that with losing players in the front part of our team and guys that have scored goals, that Johanny's going to come in and be able to hopefully help replace those points right away. But a skilled, dynamic player who we really think highly of.
Awesome. Another guy who sounds like he can help chip in on the point side is Max Fujimori. Staying in the Northeast, but jumping to Connecticut. Tell me a little bit more about Max.
Yeah, Max goes to the Wilston School. Really talented player that can play either in the middle or out wide. Buzzes around. I like to use that word sometimes for players, but when you watch him play, he's got a quickness and an energy and a skill set that we really feel like is going to be a little bit different than maybe some of the other attackers that I mentioned earlier in this interview. And so I think his versatility, play in the middle or out wide, play on the left or the right, and like I said, his quickness and dynamic skill set is going to be something that will be a little bit more unique to our roster than what we currently have.
Awesome. Moving a little more south, we've got Connor Cohen out of Virginia, played for the Arlington Soccer Association. Tell me a little bit more about Connor.
Yeah, Connor is a very versatile. I said that, about this class, but he can literally play anywhere we think up the spine for us. So though he plays right now in the center midfield position for his high school and club, we think he's got the size and strength and technical ability to go up top, to go back to center back, can play defensive center mid, can play more of a box to box center mid. So with losing guys in the midfield like a Giannis, we feel like Connor can come in and compete for playing time at a variety of positions.
Awesome. Staying in the midfield, up next, out of your backyard, as you like to say in PA, we've got Beaux Lizewski.
Yeah, that would be a big backyard because he's from Pittsburgh, so he's a little bit of a
Never
haul.
mind. He
A
is
little bit of a
in
haul,
your
but
neighbor's
yeah,
backyard.
there we go. He is in PA, but a little bit of a haul. But we've done really well recruiting Pittsburgh in my career, and he's a Pittsburgh kid. He was in a lot of different places. He was voted the Pennsylvania State Player of the Year in high school. He was the captain of the 6A state championship high school team. He's center mid, a little bit more of an attacking center mid, kind of an 8/10, assists, goals, left-footed, really special left foot. Could be a playmaker, could be a goal scorer, could be a possession guy, just someone that we rated really high throughout the whole entire recruiting process. Back that up, like I said, with an amazing high school season, and is a guy that we think can come in and play right away.
Nice. Up next, we've got another player out of New York, Axel Baltuch, played for Manhattan Soccer Club. Tell me a little more about Axel.
Yep. Like Griffin from New York City, came from the same club team as Alex Sutton, so we have a connection there, and they do a great job of producing and developing players. Axel brings a unique skill set too, in the fact, like Beaux, left-footed, left back is his position, and we always love to bring in guys that we think we can develop and can play left back. And we think Axel's got a big upside with his left foot, his ability to serve balls and play balls out of the back. Has some good size too for that position. So we're really happy about getting Axel and bringing him into the program in a position that is really necessary at the college level. That left back position, and that's something that he's coming in with experience. And has the ability to jump in right away and help us give us depth at that spot.
Awesome. Moving on to Marco Brok in net from Georgia.
Yep. Well, everybody's first question when they ask about next year is who's going to be your goalie, because of Alex having been our starter for so long. And so the job is open for competition. We have some amazing guys already in the program, but we feel like Marco is a guy that could come in and during preseason compete for the job as well. So we weren't going to bring in just a backup keeper or a guy that we thought would just fill the roster. We wanted to bring in a goalie that we felt like could compete for the job, and we believe that Marco can do that. So he's playing at a really high level down for Concord Fire, which is a huge club down in the Atlanta area. And he starts for them, and we think again he can come here and really come in day one and compete for playing time.
Great. And to close out our class, we have Cole Duschang out of New Jersey.
Yep. Ramapo kid, which is where Sebastian Varela, one of our seniors that just graduated, is from. And Brian Winiarski, one of our alums, is an assistant coach there. So we got a chance to get some references on Cole. We got a chance to work with Cole and watch him play quite a bit. A guy similar to Connor Cohen that has good size, good skill, can play center back, can play center mid. We think Cole might even be able to slide out wide and play right back. So a guy that plays multiple positions, brings a lot of different positive physical qualities to the program, and comes from a great high school program and has a great pedigree. So someone we're really excited about.
Awesome. It sounds like an incredibly diverse group of players geographically, positionally. In a few words, tell me why you're excited about this class.
Just they're deep, they're talented, they're bright, high character kids, and they play a lot of different positions, as I just stated in the interview. So I think they're going to cover a lot of different positions for us as we try to compete for a Patriot League championship next year and into the future.
Great. Well, we're excited to see them join the team, and we know that one of them has been lucky enough to already join the team. That's AJ as a transfer. and you'll be able to see him and the rest of the team play this spring. Tell me what we have to look forward to this spring, and that slate of games, and what else we have going on this semester for the Leopards.
Yeah, so we just finished up spring break. So the guys had a great winter season where they put a lot of time into training and lifting and kicking each other and not really playing any opponents. Now they're all fired up and excited that we're going to get some spring matches under our belt, get a chance to play FDU. We're going to play Lehigh again, who we played last spring. So build on the rivalry there. We play at local Division II school, East Stroudsburg, as well as, who else did I mention? Oh, Millersville, another D2 school. So we have a variety of local schools, Division I, Division II. The East Stroudsburg game is really important to me personally and to the program, because that's going to be our charity game for the spring, where we're going to play it at Cottingham Stadium, which is owned and run by the Easton Area School District. So we're going to go off campus, play East Stroudsburg, and push our book donations for our book club. Along with getting those donations, our players are also out on a weekly basis doing read alouds in the elementary schools in the Easton Area School District. So we're trying to tie the volunteering of our players and the pushing of literacy that they are doing with the local youth in the area, along with our game against East Stroudsburg, and trying to then get those book donations and then deliver those to those same schools before the school year is out.
That's great. And this is our second time doing the book club spring charity game, correct?
Yep. So we played Lehigh last year, and it was a great turnout. We had hundreds and hundreds of books that were donated that we were able to deliver to the local library as well as the local elementary school. And we're hoping for the same success this spring with our game against East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, it's great. And, hopefully the tradition, keeps getting built and it continues. And it's nice seeing that Lafayette men's soccer is making an imprint, not only in the Patriot League, but also in the community, and helping make a difference. And, we love to see that. And, tell me a little bit more about what it's like to have that type of impact on the community and be able to be part of this great charity, supporting literacy and providing books for children in the area, and just being a voice for positivity. Tell me how important that is to you and to Lafayette men's soccer.
Well, to our players, it's really important. They're doing it on their own. They're going in between classes to these different local schools and reading. They've done it now for multiple semesters, where they're starting to actually get to know the teachers and the different individual kids at the different schools, because they're seeing them time and time again come in and read. We're also, through donations from alumni, we're also delivering ourselves 500 books to kids when we go do these read alouds. So it's just really exciting. And the charity game is also great, Adam, because a lot of kids maybe can't get a ride to Metzger, can't get a ride to our stadium to watch our full matches. So for us to go to their neighborhood, play a game and where they can walk from their home and watch us play is unique and special. And unfortunately, we can't do it because the size of the field is a little small for a fall game. But to be able to do it in the spring, so they get a chance to come see our guys play live, is a really fun experience.
That's awesome. You're providing them with literacy and books and also soccer. So I'm sure the community is incredibly grateful for everything that you guys are doing. So pivoting a little bit towards the end here, I mean, it sounds like we have a great spring coming up and a great class of new players. Tell me what we can look forward to in the fall and how things are looking, and any expectations you have. And I'm not going to have you make any bold predictions or anything, but tell us what we have to look forward to.
I think, just I'm excited about the kind of the meshing of a little bit of what you call the old and the new. The last couple of years with COVID, we had a lot of guys that started a lot of years and had amazing careers, and we had some really successful seasons, making multiple Patriot League finals. But this group here in 2023, some new leaders, some guys with experience playing new positions, 11 new players coming onto the roster. So as a coach, I'm fired up about just finding a way to mesh all of them together, get guys to play new positions, take on new leadership roles, freshmen coming in, transfers coming in, and guys just really not only trying to build that chemistry on the field, but also build that chemistry off the field is something that I love about my job. And I think that's something that the program and the fans and the alumni should be excited about, is to see some new faces in some new positions with some new captains and some new players. And it's just, to me, it's a little bit of a new era of Lafayette soccer here in 2023, with having had such a special group of players that just did graduate, who, again, we love and we hate to see them go, but they were here for a long time, and now that they had to leave with graduation and move on, we really do have a fresh start, and 2023 will be no doubt a new and what I think an energized Lafayette Leopard soccer team.
Well, we're incredibly excited for that new era, and we're excited to see that new era in a new stadium. And that about wraps it up for this episode of Inside Campus with Adam Bramson and head men's soccer coach Dennis Bohn. You can donate to the stadium fundraiser page in one of the links in the bio, and also to Andrew Hummell's GoFundMe page, which we are also putting a link in the bio. And yeah, we're incredibly excited for this season, and have a great spring.
Awesome. Well, Adam, all the best to you and your family, and we appreciate your time for being on with this interview. And to you alumni and the people out there, I can't thank you enough for all your support for all the different things the program's doing.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Signing off.
Go Leopards.
Go Leopards.